Hey guys, welcome to another fantastic Christmas episode of Cult Film and Review, the podcast where we discuss the films you love but no one else gets and we see if they still hold up. Tonight, the children of Mars are in peril. They can't eat, they can't sleep, and all they do is sit around watching Earth programs all day. If only there was some kind of magical man that could bring them the spirit of Christmas. I wonder if they ever thought about kidnapping Santa Claus. Because tonight, we're talking about Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. So let's just start the show. That's how you fucking one-time it!
That was pretty good.
I want to leave that in.
It's pretty good.
Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex.
Klopex.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, guys, so just to get a little bit out of the way here, just want to say, please leave us a review on iTunes. Please subscribe to our podcast. It helps us out bunches. Also, if you have a friend who is into cult films, just let them know about the show. It helps us out because it gets them listening to us. So,
Sure does.
Helps us out because it gets them listening to us.
Yeah.
Sure does.
I don't know. We've had a couple drinks tonight. We're talking about Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. It was directed by Nicholas Weber, came out in 1964, had a budget of $200,000. It was made for TV, was filmed in the U.S., has a rating of PG, and has a Rotten Tomatoes of 25%. As always, I am joined by the cult film crew of Michael Salustio.
Hello, everyone.
Chris Willenbrecht.
What's up?
And Kyle Smith.
Hey, how's it going?
And this was Michael's pick. If you don't know what it's about, though, it's basically Martians come to Earth, kidnap Santa Claus because there's no one on Mars to give children
Mars
presents.
doesn't have a Santa.
They don't have a Santa.
They don't have a
They
Santa.
don't.
What are
They
they
don't.
doing? What are they doing?
They need a Santa.
do
So
know?
let's ask this question right away so we can blame them for it. Mike, why did you pick Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
Well, I mean, I wanted to do Brazil, but no one wanted to see a 2.5-hour long movie, so I was like, "Fuck you guys! Here's this one. Here's 120 minutes.
Everybody's
Here's
done
120 minutes of fucking pure hell."
This is the diarrhea that you took on us for
3 out of
shaming
4
you.
picked a holiday-themed film, and then he shows up with Brazil. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I thought it was a good choice. No, actually, I thought I'd never really actually even heard of this film until maybe
1964, when you were
born.
17.
Yeah.
17
Caught
years
it.
old.
Yeah. No, I hadn't heard of this film until like a few months ago, and I was like, well, that looks like an interesting sci-fi flick.
Sci-fi flick, you say?
Yeah.
Wait, so-
that's what I said.
What, you said you
ahead.
took a look at the film and thought it looked like an interesting sci-fi flick? I can't even imagine a trailer that would throw that vibe off.
Maybe I should have looked at the trailer before I did that.
Did you look at the box art, or did you look at the title alone?
I went with the title alone.
Okay.
I saw the word
The
Conquers,
pieces are falling into place
and
here.
immediately, and I heard it had a cult following, and I immediately thought, you know what? This is definitely in the vein of a War of the Worlds, and I may have been wrong on that.
Okay.
Just based off of the title alone, I would agree with you. And then,
This is proof positive why you need to do your research.
well, this is good marketing.
This
This
is
is proof positive
that's
of
what
good
the show
marketing.
is for. The show is to do our research on the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
just right here when we get in this room.
Yeah.
I don't need to look anything up.
I don't look at anything. Me and Chris don't.
No. So, it came out in 1964. I believe it came out a week before Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is obviously classic, the
Sure.
clay animation-ish movie. I don't know.
Oh,
Is it clay
I
animation?
think it's
Yeah,
just
it's
clay
clay- it's
animation. I don't
claymation.
think there's ish needed at all.
No, you gotta throw the
It's just
ish-ish.
clay animation.
A nice little trivia fact.
Ooh.
The first time that Mrs. Claus had ever been seen on screen until Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I was saving that till later.
Well, somebody.
Well, let's just rate it now. We already burned through all our facts, I guess.
Somebody did their research. I did as I was watching it.
Good job.
I think I did as well. So this is man, had anyone seen this before? Let's just throw that out.
I thought I had seen it before because I went to a live Riff Tracks of Mystery Science Theater where they did a Santa Claus movie, but that was, I don't even know what that one was called. I know is all I remember that it was Santa Claus and like some little minion of the devil was trying to stop him from spreading Christmas cheer. And then I was like, oh, I've seen this before, and I started watching. I don't fucking know what this
that's
is.
Voltar actually tried to do that in this movie.
No,
Everybody in the '60s trying to fuck with Santa.
I did not see this movie before.
No.
No one's seen this movie. I had not seen this movie before either. And it's weird because I had heard of it before. Did anybody else heard of it?
I've heard of it before because of Mystery Science Theater.
No.
I had just heard of it. I don't know how I heard of it. I just had heard
Why
of
is it just so like ridiculous that you thought you've heard of it? Like it's just one of those movies that
may be the case.
Like Santa Claus conquers the Martians. It almost sounds like some shit like another movie would make up. Like like within a movie, a kid who's into like comics or something be like, "This is the comic about Santa Claus conquering the Martians." Like, but this is a real thing.
Well, this is real life.
This is real life.
This really happened to everyone.
It did.
I came real close to picking Rare Imports, by the way.
I would like to watch that.
And that might have been a mistake, but maybe next year. Go on.
Can I
Sorry.
tell you my one of my favorite things about the promotional stuff of this movie was it was like John Call as Santa Claus, like that was a fucking big deal.
Ooh,
and I have no idea who John Call is. And
well, he's fucking Santa Claus. That's who.
Well,
You didn't do the research on that. You did the Mrs. Claus thing, but you didn't.
No, I did not look into John Call.
John Claude.
John Call Van Damme.
this is maybe maybe this is bad on us that we haven't looked into John Call, but he was a really good Santa Claus. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You didn't think he was a convincing Santa Claus?
I did some quick on the spot research here.
I like it.
What do you think is the most popular film that John Call has ever done?
This one.
Yeah, it sure is. The next one, tell me if you've ever heard of it. The Anderson tapes.
Never. No.
What the hell is that?
Nope.
Hangman's Knot.
No.
Oh,
That
not
sounds
noose.
familiar.
Not
That
noose,
sounds
but they
familiar.
No.
They don't put it in a noose. They put it in a knot on this one.
And
Hangman's
finally-
Knot.
That is the knot.
Fearless Fagin?
Nope.
Anybody?
No.
All right. Okay. I don't know. I didn't live in
Hangman's Knot
1964.
sounds kind of
Maybe
familiar.
these were the hottest movies at the time.
So bottom line, John Call was like the most bankable thing they had about this film.
That's the most bankable thing they. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Did he fight the Nazis? What happened?
And if the audience can't tell, this movie is so off the wall ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, let's break that down.
This is one of those. It's so bad. It's supposedly good.
supposedly. Well, we're here to find out if it is or
yeah.
not.
So let's just talk about that more when we come back from the break.
Where's Lady Momar?
Oh, she went to the food pill center to get some new food pills. The children haven't been eating well. No appetite at all.
It's no wonder. They sit in front of the video set all day watching those ridiculous Earth programs.
Gilmar, what is a doll? I don't know, Gilmar. What is tender loving care?
I told you not to watch those silly Earth programs.
I want to see Santa Claus some more. I want to see more toys.
All right, guys, we are back. We're talking about Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Came out in 1964. Had a budget of $200,000, which is pretty obvious, even for this time. Let's just get into it right now, Mike. What makes this a cult film?
I think it's just the absurdity of it, like the what is that? The conflict involved. It's a beloved Christmas figure versus our neighbors from the nearest planet.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Is Venus closer to us?
I think it's
don't
the
know.
shitty acting and bad editing.
What about you, Kyle?
I would have to agree with Chris, and I also think because Mystery Science Theater covered this, and they brought a lot of these kind of really shitty movies to like pop culture.
Yeah.
So I think they played it. They had a heavy hand.
I think they
in this.
definitely had a heavy hand on bringing it back to
like bringing it into
popular
people's like consciousness. It was probably a movie that was just totally fucking lost.
Because here's the thing, like I was trying to figure out why this is a cult film too, because it's not an easy watch. I think it's the easiest way for me to explain it. And I think a lot of it has to do with. Did anyone watch this with anyone else? Let me just ask that question.
Like the first 15 minutes.
No.
Yeah, I watched it alone too. I feel like if I would have watched it with you guys, we would have had a good time making fun of this movie. But watching it alone was like walking through hell.
Well, that's I mean that's pretty much like that's the whole shtick when it comes to like Mystery Science Theater films. They're films that you fucking watch with friends and you talk mad shit about the entire time because it's so bad.
Yeah,
You have to fill in the blanks.
That's why this movie was covered, because this movie, the Mystery Science Theater version, I think came out in 91.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that was definitely the reason why it's even on anybody's radar at this point. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that because I mean, it's
a really bad movie. And I agree with you. I would love to sit down, hammered, and just watch this movie with all of you guys. And
Yeah,
just
we'll make a date of it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's lived on because it's supposed to be so bad it's good. But I mean, is it so bad it's good?
I mean, again, maybe the circumstances as they might be at the time of watching it can be, you know?
What?
Meaning if you
was
were
I alone on that one?
If you were drunk and you were hanging out with your friends.
Oh, okay.
If that circumstance came about and then you watch this film, yeah, sure. But you're like, is any film that's so bad it's good? Is any of those films good unless you're kind of like in the right environment? Which one?
Troll 2. Yep. Troll 2.
Really?
Dude. Yes.
You didn't have a hard time watching that by yourself?
No, not
I
whatsoever.
I did.
I thought it was so ridiculous.
I did too, but by myself alone in my room, I'm like, where's the fun? What? I wanna.
I don't know the oh my god, that was pretty great by myself. Or with a group, it would have been
I mean,
funny.
don't get me wrong. Like, by myself, I lost it when the polar bear came trudging.
Oh
down.
my god, it was so fucking funny.
When he came in his suit.
Best suit ever. Best polar bear suit. That trumped the robot.
It was basically a high school mascot.
It was.
That's what they did. They went down to the local high school and they said, "Who's the polar bears?"
Yeah.
That team. All right, let's get that.
Let's just film this at the local high school with the polar bears.
It's like we got the grizzly bear. Just paint it white. Just let's get this thing going.
I mean, but besides like the polar bear and the robot,
yeah,
I have a hard time like remembering other scenes that are really memorable as far as like it's so bad it's good.
I thought I don't know. You're posing it like these scenes are good, quote unquote, and I mean
none of them are good. You're right.
I remember there's a lot of scenes that I actually remember, but I just remember them being so ridiculous. Like the first scene we see, I don't remember any of the fucking aliens' names. They're all the same name basically. It was
Kroloff,
Grip Glop, and the Goobenstop.
Kimar.
Right.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Kimar?
Kimar, Dimar, Humar, Pumar, Boomar.
One was played by Bryan Cranston. That's all I know.
Dude looked just like him.
He did.
But the first time you see the bumbling doofus one,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, stop it with the tickling ray!"
Yeah.
And he like tickles him awake with a laser. And I'm just like, this is fucking insane.
Dude,
this is insane.
I was like, how crazy is this? It's 1964, so they don't have like. I'm like, they got a retarded Martian. They have a retarded Martian.
He was
essentially like
he's the classic 60s
doofus. Like
he's the same as he's like the Gomer Pyle
Yeah.
archetype, and he showed up in a whole bunch of 60s like
he went to
like quick made films, you know, like
he went to special ed Martian classes.
Well, it was like the comic relief. Of
yeah,
the film,
and that's what the
honestly.
comic relief was. I feel like in the
Yeah.
or at least that was like a big character type that
Right.
was in him. So I mean, that character existing in it, knowing the year it was made, didn't throw me off. Like I half expected it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this makes total sense. But the rest of it was just so outlandish and blah and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of sitting around, like observing things. I felt like that whole scene where they're like, it's a city, and it's just like a still shot of New York City.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
while the flying saucer was flying, or the rocket ship there, and whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. It's just like a lot of that kind of shit, and then the conflict between Kimar and the
Voltar.
dude with the
Voltar. Yep.
Voltar. I was just gonna say the dude with the Frank Zappa mustache. like that kind of got old. Like I didn't really connect on that
It
story.
wasn't like real tension there.
Here's a
Right.
question for you: mustache, real or fake?
I'm going with real.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
I
real.
have a hard time going with real because one side was way longer than the other.
I want to say fake.
I want to say
I'm
fake also.
I'm going with real, and here's my explanation why it looked all fucked up. It was that really shitty green makeup they just smeared on their faces to make them look like Martians.
What?
Probably skewed the mustache. Probably pinned one side down.
I want to talk about that too. What version did everybody see?
I watched
There's
the one on
more than
Amazon,
one?
the Kino video.
I watched
the
the one on
latest
YouTube.
release.
YouTube.
YouTube?
Mhm.
Okay. I watched
weird. Why did
YouTube
you
or
guys do that?
YouTube?
YouTube.
You guys didn't watch it on Amazon, like the newest,
I
updated
watched,
version?
I watched it on
No.
Amazon Prime. It was free.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was for me.
I had to pay for mine.
No, I didn't. Anyways, regardless.
Am I the only one that paid for this
No.
goddamn movie?
He just watched your rental of it.
That's probably what fucking happened.
No, I'm not on your Prime. No, did it look like blackface to anybody? It felt like it looked like white dudes in blackface. I was like,
It
this
was
doesn't
green.
look green to
It was
me.
green.
It was
Green.
definitely
It
green.
looked
I
brown
think the version
to me.
I think the version I watched was the one that Kino Video put out a few years ago, and it's like it's
Color
I don't know
correction.
if it's an HD transfer, but it's definitely a higher quality transfer. Like the picture was on point, the sound was on point. So I think I watched like the nicest version.
I got a really
available.
bad version. There.
And,
Me too.
and the face paint was green. It was more of a forest green, but the problem with it was so patchy and uneven.
Oh,
on the
yeah, I
skin.
noticed
It was
that.
just like there were dark spots and light spots all over their face.
Oh, how about their fantastic outfits too, made out of spandex and someone's mother who sewed it.
spandex and what looked like looked like a natural gas pipe that would
Yeah.
go to your water heater, like for the head thing.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just bought one for under the sink at Lowe's.
We did. We just
did.
bought
Our
that.
We
sink
just bought
broke
a
and we
Martian
bought-
Our
helmet
sink
for under
runs
the
on
sink at
natural
Lowe's.
gas. That makes total sense. Thanks, Mike.
One question I also have too, because this movie uses a lot of it. Is it a requirement for so bad it's good movies to use stock footage? Because this had a plethora of stock footage.
I mean, using a plethora of stock footage is a clear sign that they didn't have a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that's
I mean,
always the case.
$200,000 in 1964 that's a lot of money.
That was a plethora of money.
That's a plethora.
Yeah.
We're using plethora tonight.
Yeah. Like, how many times did we say plethora?
I don't know. Tell us and we'll send you a movie.
Jesus.
This is a shit show
What's
of an episode.
It's a shit show of a
What's
movie.
going on?
It's a shit show of a movie. I
What
mean,
was the question?
I like it's a requirement for so bad it's good movies to
Stock footage.
use
Yeah,
stock footage.
it's obviously like trying to make the film more Hollywood, as
Well,
big as they can.
Yeah, they're trying to get more production value out of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, they have a scene from the inside of the United Nations.
Oh, it's
Whoa.
because it was like the alien force is out in full effect, and it's just like
Okay, that you brought up a great thing. That's a good talking point. Let's jump off of that. The talking head news anchor.
Yeah.
How fucking repetitive and annoying did that fucking get?
Real
and
bad.
like, how quickly did news did news like get spread back then? Because that's like one scene happens, like the kids get taken away, and then it's instantly 2 children were taken away by possibly Martians, or they just disappeared. Who knows?
That's what I liked the most about the reporter was that he would use words that like you would never hear a reporter. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
like I believe Santa Claus has been like first of all, keep in mind he's living in a world where Santa Claus is just like a well-known figure,
Oh, yeah.
and you can just go see him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go see him. So Santa Claus is gone, I think, by Martians. I don't know, maybe, possibly. Like that's how it sounded.
Yeah, and it was, and yeah, it was like there's an object in space, could be an asteroid, but probably Martians.
Yeah.
We don't know. We have no idea.
I like how like open the public is to it, though.
I
you
know.
It's like like they would never say that on TV.
Nowadays, with modern news, no, you would definitely say whatever that rock is in the sky is definitely a UFO.
well, they had the listen, they had the radar box that blocked them from radar picking
That's
them
true.
up.
But if you climbed inside of it, it didn't work anymore.
Oh my god, I want to build one of
What-
those.
how stupid was that box? I was like,
well, why is
do you
it
have
stupid?
2 wires?
All of these sets were like cheap stage sets. Like they
Yeah.
basically, it looked like a play to me.
And I liked how everything was labeled.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fantastic sign of great set design.
Yes,
is if everything is perfectly labeled.
just so you knew, if
Radar-
you didn't know what it was.
Radar box, radar jammer, scope.
Yeah, landing gear. Put on the landing gear. It's like
Dude,
3 fucking buttons.
But did you see how hard he had to pull those like levers?
Yeah, dude, 'cause
he was
those-
struggling.
Those landing gears, they don't just come out, Chris.
Well, with their kind of technology, they're just pumping out toys like crazy, and they can't
Well,
think of how to shift gears easily.
You thought their technology was good until the robot got stopped in Santa's workshop because he was a toy.
Yeah, I didn't understand the connection there. I didn't get that.
Santa's jolliness turned him into a toy.
It's like go robot. Wait, now the robot is a toy. It hasn't changed in its.
I like how the robot originally like had the personality of like an unruly child of some sort. Robot, come down, come out of the spaceship. He just kept saying it. It's like, if this is your fucking robot, you should push a button and it just fucking comes.
He's going through puberty, the robot.
Not sure what he is.
What was his name? Zor? Gorg?
Zor.
Borg?
I didn't
Borg.
understand that either. He attacks the kids and then he's like, kill the kids. And the other guy's
I
like,
didn't
don't kill
understand-
the kids. He only takes commands from me. Well, obviously not that well.
I don't
Because
understand why the kids didn't fucking run, like when the robot was coming after him.
You didn't see that look of terror on the
Yeah,
kid's
they
face?
were frozen in terror, literally.
Yeah, that kid's face was perfect. It
Those
was priceless.
kids, I wanted to punch
Oh
those
my God.
kids in the face.
When that robot though was like knocking those midgets down, dude, that was so funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say midgets, little people.
what? I wasn't paying attention.
Is Mike okay over there?
I
He's
don't
in and out of
even
it.
think he is.
He's in and out of consciousness.
I was thinking of something else when you said that.
Yeah, no, it's just this movie is just one train wreck after another train wreck after another train wreck. Because we brought up John Call earlier, who plays Santa, and who said that he wasn't a good Santa? Someone said that, right?
I did.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
How hard is it to play Santa?
Right?
Come on, guys.
Exactly.
How
And
could
this
he didn't
motherfucker
fuck it
can't
up.
do it.
I
He
did
didn't
like
fuck it up.
I did like pipe smoking Santa.
Yeah, me too. And
60s.
I
Gotta
feel like
love
he
it.
did. Like he looked like the quintessential Santa and acted
Yeah.
like it. Like
I didn't
don't
see anything wrong with it.
He had like a creep vibe.
I'll tell you, there's a scene that actually does stand out that I want to talk about. It's the moment where after the robot is like, he's a toy, and then they freeze the elves, and then they freeze Mrs. Claus.
With their hair dryers.
There's a moment where it seems like Santa Claus might lose his shit and really go in his full conquering mode. Like, I thought for a second that's where the movie was going to go dark. Was just like, you froze my friends. It'll wear off. Will it, though? Like, and I thought Santa was just like, how dare you? I thought, like, all the power that Santa, magical powers were going to come out and he was going to really fuck these aliens up.
right.
And nothing happens. He's just like,
At no point
He's so
does he
nice.
really conquer.
Going to that. Let's stay sticking with that particular scene.
Yeah.
I love like Santa's nod to like the husbands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
this is the least I've ever heard you speak. And he looks at the camera.
that was just like, yeah, it was like a really
Wink.
bad 40s, like 50s joke, like
Yeah.
a sexist joke. Like, my wife just don't shut up. Huh?
I don't know if I'm just preconditioned from doing this show, but when I hear Santa conquers the Martians, I expect him to fucking conquer the Martians.
He
I-
conquered
listen.
it with toys.
No, he conquered it with kindness.
He didn't conquer anything.
He didn't conquer
He did.
fucking shit.
He
The
worked his
movie-
way. He battled his way through with kindness. If you really
The
paid
movie
attention.
should be retitled Santa Goes to Mars and Has a Pretty Good Time.
Yes, I agree.
As a-
Santa is slightly inconvenienced around Christmas time.
Slightly inconvenient, but at the end, you know what? Kind of worth the trip.
yeah, there was a moment of fret there, though. He thought he was gonna have to stay on Mars.
Yeah, it was a moment of like, oh boy,
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Mrs. Claus is gonna be upset.
But
Yeah.
then again, I don't have to hear her fucking speak anymore. Am I right, men? Am I right, men? That was like,
Yeah, I agree. It was just I was waiting for him to conquer, and he never conquered.
He conquered.
He conquered.
He
This
conquered.
is-
He conquered himself.
No, he didn't.
He conquered
literally-
himself.
He literally goes, "Well, I guess my job is fucking done here later," and that was like the end of the movie.
He overcame
much.
his anger, Cody,
What anger? He was never angry.
when he
He-
thought he had to stay on Mars.
he was so complacent in his jolliness. Like, he was so fixated on being jolly. That one scene where the guy is clearly trying to kill them by opening them to the vacuum of space. He's just like, oh, your friend. And when he accidentally shut the door and accidentally opened the thing and accidentally almost killed us, like, I realized, like, I was like, this is how this whole film is going to be. That was the moment where I was like, he's never going to conquer shit.
No, he's never going to.
Like, this is just, Santa Claus is just all good.
Yep.
he never sees the fault in anyone,
right?
And that's how he's gonna win.
Which
in
is
the end.
which is not true. Let's go in Santa lore. It's
Who's
not
getting
true.
the coal, you know?
Naughty or nice,
That's
Santa.
true.
Fucking choose one. This
That's
Santa's
true.
like everybody's nice.
Hey,
and even
man.
Voltar with this shitty ass mustache.
If there was just a little bit of Silent Night, Deadly Night in this,
just a little bit,
Just a little bit of axe.
would
A little
have
more
been the winner.
axe.
Would have been the winner.
A little more axe.
This movie, yeah, dude, for real. Those kids
little,
needed it.
you know what?
They needed to get
used a little.
axed.
It could have He could have used a little more polar bear. Also,
yeah, a lot more polar bear. I would have been happy if it was just called Santa Claus Conquers.
we gotta climb this hole. We gotta go away from this polar bear.
If the people at home can't tell, this movie has like a really shitty direction, and that's why the show is all over the place.
It was made for a 1960s like kid audience. Like,
yeah, but they didn't even like it.
They didn't.
No. Because a week later came out Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Everybody was like, "What the fuck
that
is
movie's
this?"
shit. That's why that movie's awesome. But like this one, you know, of course,
proof positive that it doesn't matter what year, you can still make a great film. This is not a great film.
Well, they didn't. I didn't say they succeeded. I just said that they were targeting that audience.
Which was, in 1964, Martians is a big deal too. I mean, they kind of placate towards that with the newscaster and all that stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Santa Claus conquering the Martians.
I never saw such lazy people, standing around like statues. There's work to be done. Let's get to it.
Oh, me, oh, my, oh, me, oh. Oh, Mrs. Claus is going to be very angry about this.
Take him, Torg. Torg, take him. Obey my command.
Forget it, Kima. Rigner was right. He's nothing but a toy now. Best to leave him here.
Believe me, I had nothing whatsoever to do about this. You know, my dear, I can't recall a time when you were so silent for so long.
Let's go, old man.
All right, guys, we are back. We are talking about Santa Claus, who does not conquer the Martians, but we're going to talk a little bit more. I do have a question that has not been answered. Do the kids of Mars, do they really need a Santa Claus, or do they need a fucking therapist?
Like, I don't know what they need. Do they need parents? I don't know what's going on. Like,
No, what they need is they need their culture to change to a more happy lifestyle because they're all just pretty mundane if you look at them.
I guess so, but the adults don't feel that way.
Yeah,
well, because they're the
it.
old, because they're the older generation.
Yeah.
Like this is the younger generation, and even though they are getting these kids, as they state in the movie, these kids from birth are getting fed just information via some kind of like sleeping computer brain thing.
Yeah.
The Matrix. They get plugged in. Even though they're getting they're essentially having the exact same child their parents did, something is changing. It's an evolution in their thought process.
Mm-hmm.
According to the wise old man who pops up out of fucking thin air,
Ground,
literally.
Really, I think you just give them melts.
Wow,
back
that performance
into it.
too.
It's
The
basically
best
because
one.
it's December time on Earth.
Yeah.
So is this like, has this been a constant thing, and it's only now an important thing because the leader of the Martians is now personally affected by it.
Because he has children.
Before he was just like, oh, you guys are fucking nuts. My kids are perfectly fine. They don't watch. They're not sad or anything. And then now this year, the kids are. It becomes like a priority.
That's the thing I didn't understand. I would imagine they never had Christmas on Mars.
No, they never did.
Right.
But they've always had.
And now all of a sudden, like as Cody said, this old man pops out of the ground and says,
No, I just explained what happened.
Right. But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Is it
Can I tell you? Can I interject here and tell you why?
Yes, please.
What are you going to tell us why?
It's the fucking Earth programming, right?
It's the TV.
It's the goddamn TV, which is so funny because this is a made-for-TV movie, but they're also saying like TV will fuck your kids up.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. Like they were seeing how like Earth life was through the TV and be obsessing over it.
So the kids of Mars have only gotten to this point because the people of Earth have
been having a good time. You're
No,
right.
I'm sorry. I can't think right. Because the people of Earth have their television programming has gotten better.
Yeah, because now
you can't say that the Martians never saw a television program before because
yeah, but now they're just coming off like envious assholes.
who?
Yeah.
The
Martians.
Martians.
Well, the Martian
kids are just like, now I'm not happy because all the Earth kids have.
Well, I don't think they
Christmas."
know. I don't think they know. Just like none of the Martians knew what the emotion of fun and happy really was,
Except for Doofus.
Which
Yeah,
that's why he was the odd one out.
Not his real name, by the way.
These kids knew that what they're seeing on TV is these other kids that look just like them having fun around this time of the year, and they're confused by it. They're like, why don't I feel that? Why don't I have fun? Or why don't I look forward to this? This is really weird. And it's something that
Like when all the kids in high school were having sex and I wasn't.
yeah, you're like why hand? Why only you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like that's the other thing too, man. Is like we were discussing off air, talking more about the story, but like it's kind of hard to talk about the story in this.
The story is easy. and
There's
perfect.
There's 6,000 subplots. There's Voltar trying to fucking take over Mars.
there's
the
not
kids
6,000.
there's the kids who get kidnapped who are just trying to make it back to Earth. There's fucking Santa who knows what the fuck he's doing.
The plot of the film is this: Martian kids are unhappy, so Martian parents decide the only way to make them happy is to kidnap Santa Claus, bring him to Mars, so that he can give the Martian kids a Christmas.
Let me ask you
That's
this.
the plot.
And there's
That's it.
one big guy
Forever.
that's not cool with it, and he's the antagonist.
So the Martians
There you go.
the Martians couldn't make their own fucking toys either. Like they're not. They
They don't know how to.
They're smart.
Yeah, but they don't know how to make a toy with love.
Technically,
But those
Yeah,
machines
that
do.
does make sense. They were missing whatever the component was that made a killer robot turn into a toy.
Which was
Like whatever
which
that was,
pure joy and happiness.
It must have been the Christmas spirit or
the
something.
Christmas spirit. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's exactly what it was.
Christmas spirit.
The
possessed them.
Christmas. It shouldn't. It's Santa Claus didn't conquer the Martians. The Christmas spirit did, Cody.
Yeah,
That's true. That's what this
The
movie should be
Christmas
called.
spirit conquers
he
the
did
Martians
conquer the Martians. He conquered their heart.
with the Christmas spirit.
Hey, was that scene awkward for anyone where he just walks in the room with the two Earth kids, meets the two Martian kids, and they all just start laughing for 2 minutes?
That's
Like,
weird.
was that a strange?
No, there's a lot of weird editing. There's one scene where somebody like gets hit with something, or there's some slapstick comedy thing, and it cuts really awkwardly to Santa Claus. 1 or 2 or 3
Or
hoes.
Hose?
Too many hoes. You know what I mean?
What?
He's just like ho 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 ho.
Okay.
Like the way they edit it,
Too many hoes.
it should have cut.
Not on the dance
Is
floor.
that a Wolfpack song?
It should have cut to Santa Claus maybe one, maybe 2 hoes, but instead it went like 5, 6 hoes. It was like way
Yeah.
too many hoes.
Oh, there was, yeah.
Cody's losing it.
There were scenes where literally you would hear somebody say a line, and then in the next cut of that person would say that exact line, and it was the same audio from the one they used from before. So it
Right.
was just like duplicated.
There's some weird.
there's
There's,
some-
I'm gonna disagree with Mike real quick. I think this movie could have benefited from more hoes.
I don't know.
Mrs. Claus wasn't doing it for you, huh? What about the mom, the space mom? Space babe.
Space babe.
Space Babe was pretty good.
I liked her.
I did too.
She's
She
probably
was
my-
the most likable character.
She has like 3 lines.
And she commands the screen when she's given them.
She was great. I thought Mrs. Claus was hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
I
I gotta say, you know what? Best freeze frame I've ever seen. Those people were
They
locked
made-
solid.
they
not the
mannequin
dwarves.
they mannequin challenged the shit out of that scene.
Yeah, they
fucking
did. They won.
They did
They
win
won that challenge.
the mannequin challenge. All right, guys. You know what? Can we just rate this Mammer Jammer? Can we just do that? What do we want to rate it, Mike?
Oh man, tickle rays.
Tickle Ray.
Tickle Rays.
Can we do
so
that?
good.
I'll try,
Give me a
yes.
tough one.
We can do it.
Sorry, I'm putting a lot on your plate.
Tickle Rays. Let's start with Chris.
Oh, I didn't want to go first, but
I don't think anybody does. Don't worry. You're not alone.
But
I didn't.
I'm gonna give this movie a 1.5. I can't say that I hated every single thing about it. It was obviously bad. It was terribly made. The acting was like the worst I've ever seen, especially from the little kids. And I was like, oh my God, it couldn't get any worse. Did they cast like the director's kids or something in this movie? But It did have some moments of charm sprinkled in there too, and there was a point like about the 3/4 of the way through it where I was like, you know what? I don't absolutely hate this. I don't absolutely hate it. There's something kind of endearing about it. So I'm gonna go 1.5. I really don't recommend anybody see this, but if you're in the mood to what?
That's so good.
I really don't. I don't recommend anybody really see this movie, but if you want to give yourself like a challenge for like old school, just bad TV movies, just fucking throw it on YouTube free.
Kyle?
I'm going to give it, I'm actually going to give it a 2.5. And here's why. Because of everything that Chris just said, but the one thing he missed. This movie is the quintessential get drunk and watch it with your friends film. There's nothing in it that you could truly say makes it a fantastic film, but if you wanted to just have a great time talking like shit about a movie, this is the movie to do it to. Troll 2 isn't quite in that category because it's so bad it is good and it's hilarious. This one is just so bad it's obnoxious. And it's the perfect film to spend with friends. So for that reason, it gets a little bit more from me. So 2.5.
I'll go next. I'll give it a 2, a solid 2. Polar Bear gives it 1. That Polar Bear suit is solid. I agree. No, I agree 100% with both of you guys. It's one that you can literally have a Christmas party, throw in the background, and people are going to laugh at it. But if you're going to watch it by yourself, it's going to feel like someone is sucking your brain through a fucking straw because it's so painful to watch. But with a group setting, I feel like this would be a great thing to like just throw popcorn at the screen. I don't know a better way to describe it than that. So it's a 2 for me. Up next, Michael.
2. I'm going to give it a 2. There were moments when I was watching it and was like, yeah, I'd watch this. I'd throw this on again on a Christmas as a joke if there were people there, you know? Like have a good watch of it, maybe have it in the background, like come to it every so often. It's like a weird oddity to have in your home. Like what's that alien?
Yeah, it's a great piece of your collection.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It feels like something that you could
It's
put
a talking piece.
Yeah, exactly. Like what the hell? Like somebody would walk into your Christmas party and go, "What the hell is that?" Oh, you never seen Santa Claus Conquers the Martians? Guess what? That never happens. But hey, watch this. And then you can go on and laugh about the tubes coming out of their heads or something like that. So yeah, I mean, and I would tell people, watch it with your friends. I mean, don't watch it alone.
I guess I'm not getting invited to the group watching of this film, huh?
Jesus Christ, get lonely. Jesus, like no friends? What's going on?
Because I'm the only one that said, yeah, watch it with your friends. It'll be a great time. Everybody else had that advice. So I don't know.
Yeah, your advice was go fuck this film.
Yeah, don't ever watch it.
No, it's funny. It's a funny movie.
Now it's great.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Now it's a laugh fucking ride.
I don't know. See, part of me wants to agree with that, but also another part of me wants to say like it's just a little too slow for even a group of people to sit around and be like, ugh, like.
No, it's got to be on the background.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's an accoutrement to the party. Is what it is.
Accoutrement.
Yeah.
Earth has had Santa Claus long enough. We will bring him to Mars.
I'm against it. Our children are fine the way they are. I don't want any Santa Claus bringing them toys and games. They'll start playing and laughing and running underfoot. They'll become a nuisance.
I've made my decision. We leave for Earth tonight. Prepare spaceship number 1.
All right, guys. So do you guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, it'll be you 3 playing this game. I will be your host tonight. We're going to do some Christmas movie trivia.
Let's do it.
Yes. Let's do this. Okay, so this movie, it all begins with a pair of gloves. In this movie, starring Kate Beckinsale and John Cusack. First person to raise their hand also gets called on.
Starts with a pair of gloves.
Starts.
Shit, it's fucking John Cusack.
John Cusack, Kate Beckinsale. So you know it's somewhat recent.
No, these are all Christmas movies?
That's not true. John Cusack goes back to the 80s.
Wait, what happens in Click?
No,
not
it's not
Click.
Just joking.
Not Click.
Joking. That was not my answer.
I can picture the Is it Serendipity?
Serendipity,
Fuck.
Kyle. Serendipity. That is 1 point for Kyle. He is up by 1 point.
Nice.
Serendipity. Here comes one for you guys.
Okay.
In 1969, Frosty the Snowman. What is Frosty's first words after coming to life?
It's cold.
Wrong. It's cold. It's not the correct answer.
All right. I thought it'd be a joke, but it's not.
It is a joke.
No.
How many words?
Two
He
words.
never said that.
It's 2 words.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Nope.
Shit.
Don't know our Christmas movies here.
I would say, are you Parsons Brown?
Are you positive?
I'm Frosty.
Is that what happens in the cartoon?
Quite
in the
honestly,
song?
like Frosty is the one that I've seen the least out of all of them. So
Oh, so do you want me to give you the answer?
How about another clue?
People say this to you on the day that you're born.
it's a boy.
Nope.
That's 3 words.
3
God
words,
damn
yeah.
it! I'm drunk.
That's not it either.
That's not it either.
It's
yeah.
not. I'm drunk.
I'm drunk, kids.
Hi, kids.
Who says that when you're bored?
Hi, kids. Welcome.
People say this to you not only after you're born, but
Happy
on-
birthday!
Thank you. Happy birthday is actually what he says. In A Christmas Story, Ralphie's dad says he looks like a blank nightmare.
He looks like a pink nightmare.
Boom!
I
Kyle,
love that
3
fucking movie.
points.
Damn, Kyle is wrecking.
All right, so here we go. The song Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas first appeared in this 1940s classic movie.
White Christmas.
Nope. Doesn't have a Christmas title-y name.
It's not a Christmassy title.
Yep. I'm going to give you a clue which has part of the title in it. Is everybody ready for this? First person that shouts it out. Meet me in where Cody's from.
Missouri.
Okay, that's close.
Meet me in St. Louis.
Thank you.
Oh.
Do I get a point?
You do get a point.
Oh, great.
Why wouldn't you get a point?
I don't know.
It's 3-1. Here we go. This is an easy one.
Staring at me.
Name of the Grinch's dog. What is the name of the Grinch's dog?
Oh shit!
You guys do not know shit about Christmas movies.
I'm winning right now. Thank
Is
you
it
very
Rudolph or something?
It's not Rudolph.
much. Why would it be
Comet?
Rudolph? He hated.
It's not common.
Why would it be
Cupid?
that? He hated Christmas.
Donner Blitzen.
It's a very.
Was it Spot?
It's not Spot. It's a very easy name.
Sock.
It's definitely not Sock.
Sock?
Who the fuck names their dog
The
Sock?
Grinch.
Rover.
No.
Fido.
I'm going to the
Theater.
no
Mall.
no. It's not an actual
Movies?
place.
The cinema.
It's Max.
Ugh.
His name is
damn it.
Max.
Going
Going
to
to
the
the
Max.
Max.
Yeah, going to the Max, bro.
Oh,
Never been to
but
Max?
now if you said I'm pushing it to the.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah, that
You're right.
would've
You're,
been
that's
really
true.
good.
But it's my fucking game, so
Yeah.
deal with it. Drew Barrymore does the voice of the other reindeer in this 1999 animated movie. I've never even fucking heard of it, so no one's gonna get this.
The other reindeer in this movie.
The animated 1999
Is this something
movie.
miracle?
No,
Christmas
dude.
Miracle?
No one's ever even heard of this movie. I don't even. I didn't read these questions before I gave them to you. Sorry.
Blitzen?
I'm gonna throw this out.
Blitzen.
I'm gonna throw the answer. I'm gonna throw the answer out there.
Okay.
Olive, the other reindeer. Who's ever heard of that?
No, I've never heard of that. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Easy one. Easy one. Easy one.
Okay.
Tom Hanks does the voices.
Polar Express.
Boom.
Okay.
In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
Yeah.
what animal do the Griswolds find living in their Christmas tree?
Squirrels.
Boom. That's 3-3. That's 3-3.
This is just a showdown between Mike and Kyle. I'm just watching.
Chris has never seen an actual Christmas movie until we reviewed this movie.
I'm just waiting for the Love Actually question. Once that hits, fuck.
Let's give a tiebreaker here. Let me look for the best one.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Is it Love Actually? Love Actually question.
Yeah, just stay away from that movie.
Okay, here we go. What child star's career was launched by her appearance in the movie Miracle on 34th Street?
Oh, fuck you.
Gave you a toughie. Gave you a toughie for the last
She's a
one
child
for the
star?
win.
What year did that come out?
You talk about the new one, right?
Wait, are you talking about the new one or the old
Multiple
one?
ones, yeah.
which version?
All right, okay, hold on. Let me give you another one because you're right. There's multiple ones. It was Natalie Wood was the question.
And I know which girl you're talking about. The blonde, the brunette girl.
The girl.
Cute face.
Doubtfire. Miss Doubtfire.
Didn't she play Madeline or some shit?
This is really easy. This is really easy. So
Fuck.
first one who shouts it out. Who plays Bob? Is it Cratchit? Bob Cratchit in A Muppets Christmas Carol. Who plays the actual character of Bob Cratchit?
In a Muppets Christmas.
Kermit the Frog.
Is Kermit?
God, Chris!
Chris out of nowhere. He took the tiebreaker.
Woo!
How does that work?
Chris is in the game. Chris is in the game
I gotta
now.
come up with another one. Here we go. Here comes another one.
Chris is coming back.
Who does Martin Short play in the Santa Claus 3? The Escape Clause?
Jack Frost. Jack Frost.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Michael Saluccio is your Christmas movie trivia winner tonight.
Guess what, Mike? You won on the most embarrassing of terms because you knew Santa Claus 3 facts.
Whatever.
Take that shitty medal.
I will take it. I will take it.
All right, guys, that's our show for this week. Thanks for joining us. You can follow us on social media on Instagram at cultfilm_review. Also on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. You can go to our website, www.cultfilmandreview.com. Listen to all our episodes, see all our rating boxes, see all that stuff. Please leave us a review on iTunes and wherever you listen. It just helps us out. You can follow my cat.
Find me at Mike Saluccio on Twitter.
You can follow Chris at
Cultfilm_Chris on Instagram.
You can follow Kyle at
Cultfilm_Kyle on Instagram.
And you can follow me at VHS Collect on Instagram. And remember, guys, if you're going to join a cult, just make sure they watch good movies. We'll see you next week.